So I still have a ton to discover about myself. And on it, we all do, right? You do too. We all do, no matter where we are on our journeys. But I'm definitely these days way more in tune with what lights me up inside than I ever have been before, with what does bring me that joy and what does make me feel good and powerful and can be the work that can get me to the life of my dreams. And I want this for you too. That's why I have this podcast, and it's why I'm showing up every week with an episode. I'm so stinking passionate about getting more people on their own personal journey of whatever this discovery will do for you. And it's so important for us to know what we like, what we enjoy, and what the heck makes us feel good. I can't harp on this enough. It is what makes you feel good. That is what it is all about. Because if you feel good, if you're enjoying life, if you're enjoying whatever your work is for you, it spreads. It spreads, and it spreads just as fast as all of the negativity can if more and more of us are doing it. But for many of us, that is a big switch that needs to be turned. For so long, we've been doing things based on what others want for us, not necessarily what we want for ourselves. We're reacting to the reactions of others, doing for others, trying to please others, trying to impress others, maybe even trying to impress ourselves, and not necessarily leaning into the things that we love. How much, this is a serious question. This is a question that I sat with for the better part of the last year. How much of what you are doing is to please or impress other people? Really, really think about that. I hope you're like, not that much. Like, why is this even a big deal? If so, that is so, so awesome, but not for me. I've been living most of my life for other people, and a lot of us do. You know, as I started to uncover this for myself, I realized something really, really, really weird actually about this. I'm doing all of this stuff to impress others, but nobody was asking me to do this. Nobody was intentionally asking me to do things for them or to care so much about what they think about things. Nobody was asking that of me, but I was doing it anyway. Isn't that kind of weird? But okay, there are those people in your life that will like push and jab at you, and even when you've made your desires like so stinking clear, they're going to just try to push you to do the things that they want you to do. Like everybody's got that aunt that's like, well, don't you think you should, whatever. I actually have never had any of those aunts, but everybody's got somebody in their life. But rather than getting worked up when they prod at you, maybe just take a moment to reflect on it. Like, are you avoiding something that's maybe a little bit kind of scary? Or is it a place where you could grow, but you're a little bit fearful of it? If that's the case, then that person is seriously just trying to help you. And a lot of times people are coming from like a well meaning place. And maybe in that moment of reflection, it's like, maybe I actually could listen to this, but maybe you don't listen at all. Maybe what they're suggesting, you're like, that's not actually what I want right now. Thanks, but no thanks. So whenever something comes up, whenever somebody's kind of poking at you, suggesting something, or if you feel like what they're saying, it kind of gives you a moment of pause, just do a little bit of logical recognition on the situation and see what's really coming up for me in this moment. I personally want to live more true to myself, which means that I really don't want the pressure of other people and what other people want to bother me as much anymore. But whether you've recognized it as one or not, 2020 really did give every single one of us one huge gift. And that gift is honestly a license to do whatever feels comfortable for you. What feels comfortable for you. A year ago, somebody guilting me for not attending an event probably would have just like dug at my soul. Despite my reasoning for not wanting to attend, I probably would have said yes. I would have added one more thing to my plate. I would have denied my personal desires and comfort, trading my own self-care for the will of somebody else. Honestly, I would have. But I remember it was last January, I got this book by Sarah Knight called The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck. And in this book, Sarah talks about this idea of placing boundaries for yourself. It's her whole book. It's kind of basically like Marie Kondoing your life decisions and really taking stock of what do I want out of life. Will doing this thing spark joy? If yes, then you do it. Hell yes. If not, then fuck it. These are her words. But that's her whole concept. And when I first read this book, I was like, gosh, she's kind of rude. Like she's being rude. That was my instant reaction to her setting really clear boundaries. Like this one that really hit me. She has this ultimatum about she does not attend baby showers. She absolutely does not. Does not matter who invites her to one. She just does not. She literally will not attend a baby shower. And when I read this, my first thought was, dang, that is kind of freaking rude. Like, what? You're not going to attend like your best friend's baby shower? But a year and a half after reading this book, now I better understand what she's getting at. You know, what is your baby shower? What is the thing that you really don't want to do? You don't really enjoy doing? It doesn't spark joy for you, but you're doing it in your life anyway because somebody else wants you to do it. Stop doing that thing. Stop doing that thing. Just stop. I need to hear this as much as anybody. Now, you don't have to be a jackwagon. And even in Sarah Knight's book, she talks about how, family is totally different. Like when it comes to family, there's probably going to be some things that you do anyway, and you do it out of love, but you also have to set those very clear boundaries. If this is like draining you and not good for you, then stop doing it. And also, there are plenty of ways these days to send a baby shower gift without actually attending. So it's like, if something doesn't spark joy for you, is there a way that you can still show your love and appreciation for something without doing the thing that really drains you and that you don't enjoy, that doesn't spark joy for you? So there's so much outside societal pressure on us. There's a ton of it. It's kind of shifted, I think, in the last year, but actually think about this. How much of that societal pressure is actually kind of learned behaviors that we're inflicting on ourselves? That it's not even sometimes actually anybody putting their thumb on you, but we're putting our thumbs on ourselves because we think things need to be a certain way. And we're probably not even giving conscious thought to what we're doing. We're just doing it because it feels like the right thing to do because that's just what we've learned. But this is why self reflection is so important and why I'll probably spend the second half of my life talking about how important self-reflection is. I'm just going to harp on this for like 50 more years. I'll probably like holler about it from my hospice bed and then like come back to haunt people. I'll probably like show up in somebody's tomato soup as like a ghostly face, like self-reflect. Maybe I'll be like imprinted on somebody's grilled cheese sandwich. Anyway, it's so important. The change happens inside of ourselves. And the change happens inside of ourselves when we stop to recognize some of the things that we're doing that don't bring us joy, that don't spark that for us. Us middle class people have some really, really ingrained beliefs about hard work, about wealth, about what it means to be a person who has wealth. I'm not going to dig much into that topic today, except that to say that there are some nasty things for us to work through there if you're one of these people, which I am. What I want to talk about today is what genuinely feels right for you, not what someone else expects of you. Finding that real, true trust in yourself to know and to trust what you really love.